And I would like to thank the TAF management for organizing this event, but also giving us the opportunity to discuss on the tourism and the way forward and how do we make the Gambian tourism more competitive. I was here during the last TAF conference, and it was inspiring, and I learned so much. So when I was invited to be a panelist, I was super excited. And that was before I found out who my fellow panelists are. These amazing people, my mentor, my lecturer, and the Director General of the Gambia Tourism Board. So no pressure. Tourism in the Gambia has proven to be resilient over the years. The previous speakers has mentioned all the challenges it has gone through, including the 1994 coup, the 2017 elections, the Ebola outbreak, and lately the Thomas Cook bankruptcy. But through all these trials and tribulations, it has managed to get back on its feet and keep going. So Gambian tourism's problem is not resilient. It has enough of that, I would say. What it faces in terms of growth is more on its ability to compete with other destinations. Do we ask ourselves, why is it that we are closer to Europe than many other destinations, yet they receive more tourist arrivals than us? We are cheaper, yet they receive more tourist arrivals than us. We have the same product and service offerings, and the challenges in terms of tourist numbers and economic benefit remains the same. It all boils down to competitiveness of the sector. The sector has challenges to compete because of various reasons that we will not be able to name all today, but the very basic and the most notable ones start from the undiversified tourism offer. What is our value proposition? What are we selling as a destination? The sun, and the sea. This is what we have studied in school, and it is still what is going on. To diversify, there is need to move from this product offering to community-based, maybe to more on ecotourism, using creative industries to create new products, festivals. We have a rich and prolific culture in the Gambia that we are really not capitalizing on. We have so much resources in terms of nature, but what are we doing to develop products around these areas so we are able to boost our value proposition? Undiversified source market is another challenge that is restricting the Gambia's ability to compete internationally or even regionally. We depend so much on the European market. We have potential to attract the Americans, yet they are not here. We have potential to attract markets from other continents, yet they are not here. All we see are tourists from Europe or the Scandinavian countries. So there is need to diversify and try to attract new markets. But that cannot be done if the products that attract them are not developed to support their demand. Tourism is essential and experienced industries. As it progresses, it needs to grow and need to continue innovating to meet customer demands and needs. And if we are not focusing on developing new products or depending on technology to sensationalize our products and services to attract new markets, we will not be getting them anytime soon in the Gambia. Access to air access, lack of innovation, access to finance, even low capacity of SMEs is also affecting us greatly. And this is more so on the experience of what the tourist feels or experience while they are within the destination itself. Why tourists are here? Their first point of contact include the ground handlers, the tour operators, category B I'm referring to, the official tourist guide, horse riders, craft sellers, even the fruit sellers. But how much capacity do these people have to be able to deliver products and services to the satisfaction of the tourists? What are we doing as a country to support and build their capacity? What are we doing to support them as small businesses or SMEs? These are the gaps that we tend to leave behind, but they tend to have a greater impact than we realize. Because once I go to a destination, I don't have a good experience, why would I go back? We are aware that the Gambia have a lot of repeat tourists, but they're here for other reasons, like hospitality, the people they know, and because it's mass tourism. When do we get to attract people with more disposable income so they can spend, so the impacts can trickle down to the local masses, from the person that is selling juice, to the person that is producing farm products, to the person that is in the village in CRR or URR? When do those people get to benefit in terms of tourism? I would also want to highlight in the mismatch in the labor market, that is the capacity of TVET institutions. Are they producing the right educated individuals to match the market demand in terms of labor? Service provision become a challenge because there's a mismatch in the market already. The labor survey that was done identified a number of areas in terms of the labor market that are missing within the tourism sector. And these are things that we cannot do away with. So I would really emphasize on the need to build the capacity of TVET institutions. When we cannot do this, if we don't find out what are the market gaps are, and this will include us going down on the ground, collecting data and doing an assessment to know where the capacity gaps are in order for us to be able to supplement or support. In these areas, TVET institutions need to be supported to build their capacity in terms of the courses they offer, development of curriculums, but also supporting people that are not able to afford courses to be able to attend these programs. So at the end of the day, the demand of the labor market is met in terms of workers. Now, low impact along the selected value chains. I come back to my point of connecting other sectors like agriculture to tourism, ICT, information communication technology, to tourism, creative industries to tourism. These are three big sectors that can support growth within the tourism industry, either in terms of producing the food that we consume in the hotels. To do that, farmers upcountry or anywhere else needs to be supported. Build their capacities, give them equipment, give them skills. We know the hotels have standards, so why don't we support them to develop their products and service offering to these standards so what they produce are able to be sold in hotels? Why are we not using the creative industries to support creative tourism, creating new products? We know there's development in terms of festivals, but there is still a lot of gap that needs to be done. The branding of the destination, using creative technology, using smart apps, to sensationalize, digitize our own services and products that we have. So potential tourists are able to come, before they even arrive in the destination, they are able to pick on what they need to see, what they want to experience, what they want to feel, what they want to eat, where they want to go. So we are able to better represent our country as a tourism destination. Developing new products and services, nature-based, ecotourism, or creative tourism, or community-based tourism, to diversify away from the dependency on mass tourism and mass tour operators. It will enable broader investment, maintenance, and innovation. Because we need to now move away from focusing on the coastal area and go down to rural Gambia, where you really have authentic and unique product offerings. These are the people that when we talk about culture, that are able to give you an authentic experience, because it's them that form the basis of culture and tradition. And we have so much of that. So focusing on building their capacity and developing community-based tourism, or using the river, like Mr. Ba was saying, using the river to build tourism along the river Gambia. These are all offerings that are able to support growth, foster job creation, export, and develop our image. Languages. We are English-speaking country, yes, but the tourists that are coming here, some of them are from Germany or Portugal, Spain, or Scandinavia? What are we doing to reinforce training in language areas? So when the tourists arrive, we are better able to translate our products and services. Before they come here, the websites that we are using to market the Gambia or the platform, it should be able to translate into so many other languages, so we are better able to target more tourists out there rather than focusing on the English part of it. So courses in languages, but also focus in terms of diversifying our marketing techniques. Integrated policy. I was mentioning about working within the creative industry and agriculture and ICT and the tourism. To do it, there is need to focus on an integrated policy that is able to link actors, resources, and support cross-sectoral collaborations. Then the SMEs within the tourism sector. These are the people that have been doing so well. Whenever the sector falls into any trials or tribulations, it comes back to life. But it didn't come back to life by itself. We are the people, the dedicated businessmen and women, the sector associations, the communities, the juice sellers, the craft market sellers, the tourist taxi drivers, the public agencies. These are the people that come back together and keep it going. What are we doing to support in terms of their capacity building? Do they have access to finance? Do they have trainings that can support their growth? Have we ever done an assessment to see where their capacity gaps are, so we are able to better structure and deliver structured support to support growth, but also employment creation? If we depend so much on tourism to create employment, but also to contribute our GDP, then there is need to focus on capacity development of SMEs within the sector. Regionally, there is the African free trade. There is need to organize a regional market based on complementary rather than competition. The Nigerian market, for example, is growing bigger than any of the destinations within West Africa, tourism-wise. Why don't we start it as a powerhouse of West Africa, where each other country can add to its services or its tourist offerings, rather than we compete within each other? If the African free trade had made it possible, so there is need to capitalize. There is also need to evolve competition into cooperation. We are so close to Senegal. We share a lot of history, either the slavery or culture. Promoting like regional routes, either from Senegal, Gambia, Senegal to Ghana, or Ghana, Senegal, Gambia, or any other destination within, would be able to support growth regionally in terms of tourism. And then we are better able to diversify our market and also attract people within the region of West Africa or Africa as a whole.